All right, Shalom. This is GMS in transit, Atlanta. We're on our way to the camp right now. We came to pick the brother up, so we got a little ways before we get to the camp. Just wanted to do like a quick, short lesson, and pretty much, I was watching Apostle Tar's video earlier this morning that he did on, forget the name of it. It had various topics in it. It was something else he had mentioned. Being a novice, the water brother. And in the lesson he was mentioning how you have these guys that come into the knowledge, and after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they think that they have it, you know, to start trying to dismantle everything that they've learned, you know, because they catch feelings or catch spirits about certain things, you know. So what we want to do is go through a couple of scriptures and to show you that this, what we're teaching right now, is not ours, you know, as far as we just made this stuff up, you know, in the kitchen somewhere or in the basement somewhere. This is something that we've learned and we were taught and we believe, you know, and we're continuing on teaching what we've learned because the scriptures direct us to do that. So if we could start off with, what is that, 2 Timothy 3, I believe it starts at 14 or maybe 12. So if you could pull that up.
Okay, so yeah. This is 2 Timothy 3 and start at 12. It says, 2 Timothy 3 and 12. It says, yea, and all that will live godly in Yahushua Mashiach shall suffer persecution.
Right, and that's what's happening too. That's part of the persecution. Have guys come against you. Go ahead.
But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse.
And you see that happening. Evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse. They're thinking that the Spirit of the Lord is working with them, but it's really the spirit of Satan that's blinding them even further. You know, bringing them more into that gall of bitterness, as the Apostle Peter told Simon, the sorcerer. I perceive that thou art all in the gall of bitterness. You know. Go ahead, brother.
Deceiving and being deceived.
Right, they're deceiving and being deceived, because here that you thinking that they're righteous men, but they're being deceptive, you know, to brothers, but they don't know that themselves are being deceived, because the scriptures tell you in Ezekiel 14:9 that if a prophet be deceived, I, the Lord, have deceived him.
Yeah.
You know, so he's being deceived. He's deceiving brothers and thinking that he's on a mission, so to speak. He thinks that he's doing the right thing, but all along he's being deceived, because he's thinking that that's going to lead to his salvation, and that's going to lead to his destruction.
Yeah. Like I tell you in Job, he speaks about the deceived and the deceiver are his. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So go ahead, brother.
14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned.
Right. So it says, continue thou in the things which thou hast learned. If you just came into this thing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you didn't know anything. You're not the one that the Lord woke up to push this word. You know, you woke up. Matter of fact, get real quick. We're gonna go back to that. Get St. John 4, start around 34, but it's a little further down. You know, this knowledge that we have, this is something that was taught to us. You know. You guys that's just coming in now, you're learning something that you had no clue ever even existed. You know? Yeah. Some of you still didn't know how to wipe your ass right when certain men was out there teaching the word and pushing this legacy, so to speak, that's being taught right now. You got that, brother? And if you have any time, you brothers jump in.
This is St. John 4 and 34. Yahushua saith unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work.
That's right, go ahead.
Say not ye that there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest.
In other words, don't be having your hands in your pockets waiting to go out there and work. The work is there, the work is plenteous. The harvest is plenteous, the laborers are few. So get your hands out of your pocket, get your thumb out of your ass, you know, and get out there and do the work.
That's right.
Go ahead. You got something? Go ahead,
And he that reapeth receiveth wages.
Right. He that reapeth receiveth wages. If you sitting on the sideline and then expect when all the goodies come, you getting a piece and you never did no work, you ain't gonna get shit.
Yeah.
You know? The scriptures say if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. That's twofold. That's dealing with actually working, and that's also dealing with doing the work of the Lord. And then it also says the husbandman shall be first partaker of the fruits.
That's right.
Meaning that the men that put in the labor, the Lord is going to give them the reward. You other guys ain't going to get the reward. And you guys that are twisting the work and trying to teach some other thing and trying to come up some other way, the Lord's going to destroy you, man.
That's right, man. You know, just like in the parable about the supper, how he bade many men to come to the supper. Right. And you had certain of them guys that came with an excuse, man, of why they can't do things. You got certain guys when the apostles and elders tell them to do certain things, or when the Spirit come down on them, they always got an excuse. Oh, I got this going on, and I got that going on, and I got that going on. You're supposed to be working, man. You shouldn't be making an excuse when it's time to work. You know, you're supposed to be getting it in, like, and just to go back to the the whole premise of the lesson is sticking with the things that you learn, man. When you first came in, we understood that we had to meet the requirements of going to camp every week, doing videos, building with the brotherhood. So how in the hell it go from that when you initially came in to now you trying to mix it and do it how you want to do it?
Yep.
You got to follow the examples of the apostles and elders, because Yahweh Shem Shai putting the Spirit on them to lead.
Yeah, and that's what it's good to say. Because you have left your first love.
That's right.
You got it, bro.
Okay. And gathereth fruit unto life eternal.
Right, and that's what we're working for, to gather fruit unto life eternal. Go ahead.
That both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. And herein is that saying true, one soweth and another reapeth. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor.
Right, so we're reaping where we didn't bestow no labor. We're not the ones that actually sat there and the Lord gave the information to that we taught. This information we have was given to us by other men that were before us. Read that last part again.
Okay. It says, and herein is that saying true, one soweth and another reapeth. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor.
Right, so you guys came into this thing, and this when you get a chance to you remember 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, if you remember. This knowledge that we're teaching, you guys that are teaching it about the mark of the beast, that you're teaching about the different books and chapters in Revelation and Ezekiel, and that you're teaching about Cornelius being an Israelite. You didn't know all of that prior to watching a great millstone video or a video of the Israelites. You didn't know none of that. You came in, you stumbled across it. Which we're gonna get that to in the book of Jude. You stumbled across it, and the Lord worked on your mind to get it. Now that either you left or got kicked out, now that gall of bitterness, that root of bitterness is taking a root in you, and you want to change everything so that it could make you feel better about either getting kicked out or leaving.
Yep.
So if you can find the flaw in the knowledge, to you that'll give you the justification for not being a part of it.
Yeah, God.
Fuck out of here. FOH.
Yeah.
It says that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together.
Right. So he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. Get 1 Corinthians 3, and I believe it's 8.
This is 1 Corinthians 3 and 8. Now he that planted and he that watereth are one.
Go ahead.
And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor.
Right, according to his own labor. So it's about labor. I mean, this knowledge is a gift that was given to us. It's not of works, it's a gift. But the Lord gave us the gift, and we're supposed to work with the gift.
That's right.
We're supposed to go out there and trade it. Because you can't just take the gift and put it in a napkin.
Yep.
Because what happened? The man that did that, the Lord destroyed him.
And he called him a slothful and wicked servant. That's right. Wickedness, man. You get that talent, man. You're supposed to gain. All right, and like I tell you in the parable, it said gain cometh by trading. So how do you trade, man? You have to build with the brotherhood, man. Because this man gets started with a certain gift. This man may get started with a gift of faith, but you may have another brother that have the gift of patience. But if you're not feeding the flock and you're not going around the brothers and seeing, how everything going and doing lessons and building, that talent is not going. You're not going to gain. Right. You just using that gift that was given to you for ill-gotten gains. You taking that gift and you manipulating it and corrupting that gift until the Most High extract it out of your spirit, and then you become more unfruitful than when you began, man.
You become a reprobate.
You become a reprobate. That's right.
That's what the scriptures say. Better is a man that hideth his folly than him that hideth his wisdom. You know, because the wisdom is precious. It's supposed to be put out there. You know, the scripture say, Yahushua told him, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You know? And the name, well, one of the main things too is the name Yahweh and Yahushua.
That's right.
Y'all guys didn't know that. Shit, I didn't know it before the Lord woke me up to the truth.
Me.
You know? So you guys are trying to change everything. You know, you're trying to change something that you did not create, so to speak. You know? You got it right.
Verse 9. For we are laborers together with Yahweh. Ye are Yahweh's husbandry. Ye are Yahweh's building. According to the grace of your power which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. So
the foundation is already laid. All you can do when the foundation is laid, build upon that foundation.
That's right.
But you have to be careful what you build on that foundation. You know? Like the knowledge that we teach now is pretty much the knowledge we learned at One West. The Spirit was on Apostle's heart to tweak certain things that were off, you know? But the Cornelius thing, Cornelius being an Israelite, that was always in the air. It was always either it was said that he was an Edomite, or it was said that he was an Israelite. You know, so that was always, because that was the Lord pushing to get that out, that Cornelius is an Israelite. You know, so that was one of the main things that was taught back then. You know, but pretty much the rest of everything is pretty much almost the same as it was back then. It just certain things were tweaked, you know, because like Apostle Tar said in this video, this is not just given to one man, you know. You got it, bro.
Then, according to the grace of Yahweh which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another man buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
And if I could add to that point, meaning you even supposed to be examining yourself and see if you've been being slothful lately.
That's right.
Because that is a demon. You have a slothful demon out here, and it will jump on you. So if you're not examining your spirit and seeing, you know, where's your Achilles heel, so to speak, then that slothful demon ain't gonna do nothing but add on slothfulness. Is gonna add maliciousness. Then it's going from maliciousness, because it tells you that those demons go and bring more demons. Then you have a hatred spirit. Then you start wanting to change the doctrine. So if you're not examining yourself and taking heed of your works, then you get worse. You get worse, man.
That's right. Is there more?
It says, for other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahushua.
That's it. The foundation is already laid. You know, what we're teaching is something that goes back thousands of years. You know, and we're coming out to the point where it's being fruitful. And here that you coming in and trying to put weeds and thorns and bullshit in the garden. You know, the Lord don't need all that bullshit. That's why He's pulling them weeds out.
That's right.
Left and right. And what happens when them weeds get pulled out? They wither. And then when they wither, they have no nutrients, no spiritual nutrients. So what are they doing? They coming out and vomiting out some bullshit that they're teaching now. That wasn't on that, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Go back to Timothy, 2 Timothy 3, where you left off. I believe it was 14, and then we'll go to the book of Jude, and I'll probably close it out there.
This is 2 Timothy 3 and 14. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Right. Continue the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. Because we've been saying this for years. Some of you guys out there don't know what you're involved in. And there's still a lot of demons and niggas in Great Millstone. And the Most High is going to expose every last one of you, man. The Lord's going to get rid of all these devils that's in Great Millstone that's causing havoc. You know, that's being false brethren, that's ripping brothers off, that's doing all type of wickedness. The Most High is going to get every last one of them. You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says 15. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation.
Right, they're able to make thee wise unto salvation, but you have to continue on in what made you wise. You got to continue on in your first love. You got to continue on in that same spirit that you had, or that we had when we first started teaching the word. That zeal. Go ahead,
Khan. Through faith, which is Yahushai. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be perfect, furnished unto all good works.
Right, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
Thoroughly furnished.
Yeah. All right, you got something?
Yeah, I got one real quick.
Go to
this
Colossians
is Sirach 8 and 9. It says, "Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need required."
That's it, man. Because what we're teaching is something that we learned from our elders, you know. So you got these guys are coming up. See, that's what a lot of you guys too. A lot of you guys are carnal minded, man.
Yeah.
Because you don't really see when the Spirit's speaking. You're looking at the man, you know. You're looking at the individual that's saying what he's saying. You're not listening to the spiritual message that's being said. You know, and you look right past it because you're so worried about man. Because a lot of you guys, really, I'll be honest with you, a lot of you guys are about as spiritual as a wooden nickel, man.
God.
You know, you don't see when the Spirit could slap you in the face and you still won't see it. You know,
and can give a scripture on damn near anything. But when it comes to spirituality and seeing when the Spirit is moving, Jake just can't see it.
That's right.
Just, you know, it's the same thing like we said about Simon the sorcerer, man.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to buy the Spirit, man. You know, because this thing is a thing that it's given to you. You know, spiritual. The Most High is the one who opens your pineal gland and give you spiritual sight and spiritual ears.
That's right.
You know. And if and once you start closing your spiritual ears to the Lord that opened it up, then he just shuts you down. And he takes everything away from your spirit, man. Because the Most High is a Father of spirits. He don't deal with the flesh. Everything that happens is spiritual, man. So a lot of you guys out here lost the oil, man.
Yeah.
You look at the Shy Refined, or Shy Tried and Refined, them dudes, that dude Nazariah lost the oil. You look at the guy that used to be in our camp, the dudes that used to be in our camp, that teach that they losing the oil, man. You know, because you closing your eyes and your ears to the Spirit, man. You know, and the Most High doesn't take pleasure in that, man. He actually hates that, man. That's why he speaks to us, man, through the Spirit. And once you close your eyes and you start being a rebellious son, then he shuts you off. Yep. He closes you off, and then he sends demons to deal with you. Since you don't want to fall up under Yahweh Bashim Shai's order, he sends demons at you, man.
Yeah, the scriptures tell you that Job said that the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. And then scriptures say that the man that has his knowledge ain't doing nothing with it, the Lord shall take away that which he seemeth to have. You know? I'm not sure exactly where that scripture's at, but it's the truth. If you're not putting the Lord's money to use, the Lord will take that money away from you and give it to somebody else, which is their spiritual knowledge. And you don't have to buy your way in this truth, you know? You got guys out there telling brothers that they got to buy their way in the truth. That's some straight bullshit. You know, the way you buy the truth, the scripture say, buy the truth, so not, is with your body being presented as a living sacrifice, and with the praise of your lips.
Yep.
You know, which is a sacrifice that's pleasing unto the Lord, that sweet savor.
God.
You know, not having to pay your way through. You know, some fucking bullshit going on, man.
Yeah, God.
Was that it on there, brother? Go to Colossians 2 and start at 5.
Colossians 2 and 5. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in the spirit, joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of the faith in Yahweh Shai.
Right, because you're not supposed to do this and be a certain way just because you have an apostle or an elder or your camp leader in front of you. You know? You're supposed to be the way you are always. You ain't supposed to be acting like you're righteous around certain men But then when those men are not around, you go back to being a nigga that you really are.
God.
You know? Because the Lord sees everything, man. He sees everything that's going on. He sees how you mistreating and handling brothers, and the Lord's going to get you guys. You know, he sees when you guys have them little secret meetings. You know, you're trying to heap disciples unto yourself, and you're trying to change the doctrine and saying it should be this way instead of that way. You know, and trying to corrupt a corrupt brother that's in the camp. The Lord sees all of that, man. The scripture say a little leaven the whole lump.
That's right.
The scriptures also speak about the gall, the root of bitterness. You know, it comes in there small, but it grows. You know, so that's why you see a guy like that, you got to cut that dude off. You know, go ahead.
God. As ye have therefore received Yahushai, the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him.
Right, rooted and built up in him. Go ahead.
And established in the faith.
Established in the faith by the things that you were taught. You know, the guideline that was given to you. Go ahead.
God. As ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
Right, abounding therein with thanksgiving, meaning growing. Because when you abound means you increase, you grow. Scripture say, desire the sincere milk of the word that you may grow thereby. So we're supposed to constantly grow in this thing.
That's right.
You know, not stay stagnant. If you're staying stagnant, then something's wrong. You know, you got to pray to the Lord and ask him to get you out of that state.
God.
You know, like King David said, take not thy Holy Spirit away from me, but renew a right spirit within me. Go ahead out.
God. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily.
Alright, so now jump from there. Matter of fact, is there more? What's the next verse?
Next one is 10. It says, and ye are complete in him, which is the head of the principality and power.
Right, so we're complete in him. Go from there to the book of Jude. Start at the first verse.
This is Jude 1. It says, Jude, the servant of Yahushai and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by God the Father, and preserved in Yahushai, and called, mercy unto you, and peace and love be multiplied.
Right.
Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you, and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith.
Right, because we shall earnestly, what's the word looking for? Sincerely contend or fight for the faith.
God.
Why? Because the faith is being attacked on all sides. By Esau out there talking shit, and by false brethren.
That's right.
So you have certain guys that come into this thing, learn a couple of scriptures, now all of a sudden they're the gurus and the masters of the knowledge. Now they're gonna tell everybody how it's done.
Right.
They're trying to reinvent the Hebrew Israelite thing, and the path was already laid.
That's right.
You can't change the path. The path is already laid.
That's right.
And that's why anybody that tries to do that, the Lord moves them out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Go ahead, bro.
That's bad.
It says,
and this is why Jude said that, you know, that you should earnestly contend for the faith. Because you got fake niggas that's amongst brothers that's teaching with brothers and then eventually trying to change things. Doing certain underhanded shit to brothers. Ripping brothers off. Committing adultery with certain brothers, women, and all different kind of shit, man.
Madness.
What's that, brother?
Yeah, all kind of madness, man.
Yeah. So that's why Jude was so staunch in saying you got to earnestly contend for the faith. And to read on.
Which was once delivered unto the saints, for there are certain men crept in unawares.
For there are certain men crept in unawares. So these men that are crept in unawares, what are they doing? They're trying to change the doctrine. They're trying to make merchandise of you. They're doing all type of underhanded, wicked shit. Because they're niggas.
Yeah, just like Paul, when he was going through a list of all the perils that he faced. You know, one of the perils that he mentioned was perils of false brethren, man.
That's right, brother.
He mentioned being in perils of false brethren, and I think perils mean dangerous.
Yep.
You know, perils of robbers, perils of his own countrymen. So that's another part of catching hell, man. Having a fake nigga around you, man.
Yeah.
A fake brother around you and having to put up with his shit for a certain amount of time, man. It can weigh down on your spirit. Right. That's another part of endurance, man. You know that you know sometimes we may not speak on a lot. It's being around these false ass niggas, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's hell, man. When you got a good spirit in you and you want to be right, but you just got a nigga around you that's just always throwing off the spirit.
Taking advantage of you.
Yep, taking advantage of the brotherhood and using the word for ill-gotten gains. That's another part of catching hell, man, and enduring.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right. Go ahead,
It says, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation.
Yeah, because they were brought into this knowledge just to be condemned. Yahushua said, it is impossible, but that offenses must come, but woe unto him by whom the offense cometh. It were better for him that a millstone was hanged around his neck and he drowned in the deepest part of the sea. Because the Lord is going to deal with every last one of them clowns, man. Go ahead out.
Who were before of old ordained to this condemnation.
So they were of old before ordained to this condemnation. The word condemnation means with damnation. So that their destruction is going to come either by way of starvation or by way of these concentration camps, torture. And if they get through all of that, they either going to get hit with the missiles or get hit by the lasers from the chariots, or both.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's certain men that the Lord have preserved just for destruction. So you guys that's in Great Millstone and any of the other camps that's underhanded, low-life scumbags that are doing all kind of wickedness, and you know you're doing the wickedness, the Most High is zeroing in on your ass, man. You know, he got your ass on the scope, man.
Mm-hmm.
He about to spray that spiritual raid on your bitch ass.
That's right.
God. It says, ungodly men turning the grace of Yahweh into lasciviousness.
Yep, turning the grace of the Lord into lasciviousness, doing just all manner of wickedness, man. You know, just and then you see brothers' spirits. You know, you see that brothers are sincere, and you, instead of being a brother, you use that to your advantage. You take advantage of those brothers. You know. Go ahead,
God. And denying only the Lord power and our Lord Yahushua.
Right, because you're looking at it as it being man. You're not looking at this as it being the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, which it is. You're looking at the flesh. Go ahead.
I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this.
So now Jude is going back and giving you an example of this particular thing happening. Go ahead.
How the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt.
Right, we came out of the land of Egypt. Go ahead.
Afterward, destroyed them that believed not.
Afterward, destroyed them that believed not. Meaning that these men that crept in unawares don't believe. You know? Like the scriptures, as a matter of fact, if you can get that in Hebrew, I don't know if you were going to get something. Hebrews 4. You can start at 1. The point is in the verse 2. So you got these men that crept in. They put the garment on. They played a part, but they're inwardly they're pretty much full of dead men's bones. They really ain't sincere. They're really not for this. They really don't believe in this. Go ahead, bro.
Hebrews 4:1. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it.
Go ahead.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them.
Right, the gospel was preached unto us as well as unto them. So the gospel is preached unto the righteous men, the elect, and it's also preached unto the wicked, to the 2/3. Go ahead.
But the word preached did not profit them.
Right, the word preached did not profit them. Go ahead.
Not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
Not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So you have certain men that are crept in unawares that don't have faith, that don't believe, and they're just thorns, pretty much, and briars and thorns in brothers' sides, weeds in the garden.
That's right.
You know, strangers on our side of the street. You know, and it's just a matter of time before the Lord puts that heat-seeking scope on your ass and gets you, man.
That's right, bro.
That was that. You
got I was gonna see if you can get Acts 20 and 28 just to build on that point.
Beautiful.
You know, because it'd be a lot of niggas that it's like, you know, moths attracted to the light, man. You know, that's what it is.
This is Acts 20 and 28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock, over the which the Holy Spirit had made you overseers, to feed the church of Yahweh.
Which that's what it's about, man. The Most High didn't put you in this thing to be exalting yourself and using this truth as a platform to push yourself. All right, he put you here to feed the flock, man. This is what we all should be doing, is feeding the flock of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, go ahead, bro.
It says, which he had purchased with his own blood.
Go ahead.
For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock.
And when these things happen and they're revealed, it gives this scripture a different meaning now, because now you actually live in the scriptures, and it's verifying that these scriptures are true, because now you have testimonies because you're living it. Okay, that's why the Most High set these things up in the spirit for us to even go through, to confirm it. Okay, these words is living. These are living waters. This stuff is true. And once you embark on this journey, the things that's written will start to take place in your life. You know, so and that's one part of it. Grievous. These are warnings and basically the spirit giving you a heads up on things to come. That grievous wolves shall enter in among you, not sparing the flock.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them.
That's right. And that's their motive. Their motive is not to sincerely serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, help the brotherhood, have brotherly love, and receive salvation. They have ulterior motives. Okay? They want to use this thing to make money and take advantage of brothers and deceive, you know, try to deceive everybody and manipulate everybody with, you know, with the gift that the Most High gave you. You could take a harmless tool and you could turn it into a violent tool, man. You know, just like in jail, you could turn a damn something into a shank. Yeah,
toilet tissue.
Yeah, you could turn the toilet tissue into a shank, man. Yeah. That's the same thing in the spirit, man. You could take that gift that the Most High gave you and corrupt it and use it to harm brothers, man. And that's what certain niggas do, man. That's what they do, because they not sparing the flock. They don't care about the flock, man. That's a wolf.
They're a hireling.
You got it, bro.
It says, therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn everyone night and day with tears.
That's right. Hey, you know, Paul went around warning the different churches in whatever city he went to, and warning them day and night, and with tears, man. He shed tears to the Akim, showing his state and his position of sincerity, man. That these things must happen, man. They have to happen, because if they don't happen, the Most let me rephrase that. The Most High set certain things up in the spirit for you to have a testimony that these things are true, and to build and to put righteous spirits on you. You know, you have to in order to develop the spirit of long suffering, you have to suffer something for a long time. That's how you grow appreciation for that spirit. And you add, like it tells you in 1 Peter, the 1st chapter in the 5th verse, about adding to your patience virtue, and to your virtue long suffering and equity.
Patience.
You know, the Most High put certain things in your life, or you go through certain things to build those righteous fruits of the spirit, man. You know, so that's all I had on this.
All right, so just go back to end it off there. Go back to Jude and read that verse again, and then we'll close it out there. You can read the whole chapter, but you know we're just just about brothers get the gist of it.
So this is Jude 1 and 4. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of Yahweh into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord power, or the Most High, and our Lord Yahweh Shai.
Right, so you're denying them, man. You know, and fire burn you devils, you know.
That's right.
Because the Lord's going to deal with every last one of you, man. And I want to say Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalak, Rayam, upon these wicked brethren. Babakusha, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Tawab. Hey, I hope you brothers have been edified. Until the next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.